Hello and welcome to RL Ireland's 2v2 Hoops tournament. I am your caster for this evening, Gib, and yeah, an exciting time to be had this evening. Going to be an interesting one. I personally am not a big fan of hoops, but a lot of these players seem to have gotten better grips of the game mode than I have. But yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. So we're going to be hopping into some games very soon. It's definitely an interesting couple of matchups. Having a quick look at the rosters here at the roster, I guess. Here at the moment, seeing who's advanced forward in our winners final, looking like it's going to be Dog with a Log versus Dash Dash Dot, which is again a name that's definitely going to catch me out quite a lot. So it's going to be Yem and Jaffa versus Nathan and Pau in that one. And while that game is going on, we're going to have our apologies here. We are going to have the rest of our competitors competing it out to see who makes it to the grand finals. Well, the semifinals, loser semis, and the losers finals. The quarterfinals are ongoing as we speak. As we get this matchup underway, we're just joining into the lobby, and we will get this going in just a moment. And here we go. People are joining their respective teams, and we are about to get underway in this best of 5 on stream for you here. So first kickoff, here we go. Jaffa getting the ball, but Nathan just getting that little bit more of a touch. Yeah, I'm going to be bringing it up towards Jaffa, but it'll be very dangerous on this very small court. As always, Bitters going very close, almost getting it in there, but looking like Dog with a Log just knocking it clear for the time being. Still the danger there. Bitters in with that one. Very close, but able to get knocked out just in the nick of time. Yem moving forward with the ball, but there's Bitters, and there it is! He looked like he was going to get the touch on it, but he didn't quite have the time, didn't quite have the distance under his belt covered. And going to be an opening goal for Dog, or an opening basket, I should say, for Dog with a Log here. We have the second kickoff, just over 30 seconds, I should say, on the clock. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in this match. It's anybody's game, but yeah, I'm looking in a dangerous position. Bitter's going to get a nice touch off of that, but nothing quite clear just yet. Yeah, I'm going to be bringing it up, going to be looking to secure that second shot for himself, and there it is, the second basket he was looking for. He looked very dangerous in that position, and he showed that he is the man to get the job done for the time being. 2-0? Is that how you... I'm not familiar with basketball rules. 2-0 to Dog with a Log in this matchup, in this first game of the best of 5. But there is a beautiful shot from Bitters just off the rim, and Danger's not out of the way just yet. Jaffa going to be having his work cut out for him, very low on boost, and Bitters going to get a clearance back towards Dog with a Log side of the court, and off the rim, almost going in, but Yem going to be knocking that clear back towards his opponent's basket. Again, bouncing off the rim, nothing going in just yet, but both of these teams very much looking like they are wanting another basket goal for themselves. Nathan on the ball, getting a nice touch on that, but into his opponent's corner. Yam gonna get a nice clearance over his opponent for that one. Nathan very dangerous off the backboard, and it's wide. But Bitter's gonna cut that out in the midfield. Jaffa hunting him down, but both on very little boost here. Yem going up for it, going to knock it back out of the way into his own corner. Over Bitters, past Nathan, into Dash Apologies, Dash is bringing it back into Dog with a Log's corner. But there we go. Yem gonna come off the backboard, get a nice touch on that. Gonna bring it up. Jaffa gonna steal the possession from his own teammate in the midfield, but it's not gonna work out well for them as they're now on the back foot for the time being. But there is the clearance they wanted. Yem gonna punt the ball up, gonna bounce between the backboard and the rim. Nobody quite getting what they want. It's very much back and forth at the moment. Jaffa gonna put it up for Yem. Yem gonna get a good touch on it, and there it is. Oh, that was very close. Yem almost scoring another goal for his team, but somebody there just in the nick of time to sweep the danger out from under their feet. And Yem staring down the opponent there, trying to force him to make a move. Here's Nathan, but not quite getting to the ball before Jaffa does, and back towards the midfield, back towards //dash//dot side. Apologies, that told you that name was going to catch me out. And there it is, Nathan going to score for his team while I'm rambling on about nonsensical names in this tournament. Off the backboard, very nicely done. Made a fool of his marker there for that one. 2-1 with 1 minute and 58 seconds left on the clock. Who's going to take this game? The cushion that Dog with a Log had is now gone, and Nathan making it very difficult for his opponent, getting another goal in quick succession. There it is, the equalizer that they would been wanting for. They'd been hunting for that one for sure, and very nicely done off the backboard, making sure that it went all the way down to secure that goal for themselves, or basket, I should say. Here it is, another kickoff, 2 in quick succession for //dot. Can they get a third? They're looking like they're hunting for it, but there it is, off of the rim, and Jaffa going to clean up shop, bring it back towards his opponent's side of the court. Yem going to intercept that, going to be making a nice touch, but they're not quite in. Peters getting a nice touch off that, making sure it doesn't go in for the time being. The danger is not gone just yet. Nathan going to make a touch, but it's almost passing it to Jaffa, and there it is. A crucial mistake at this point in the match. Could have proved costly to //dot in this best of 5. Only time will tell. 1 minute and 20 seconds still left on the clock. Anything can happen. Dog with a Log going to be happy with an extra goal on their side, but you know, as we always say, anything can happen in Rocket League, especially when there is that much time left on the clock. Bitter's going to be getting a nice touch, but Jaffa able to stop that from going in. Nathan's coming, bringing it back. There's nobody to stop that, but it doesn't really matter. It bounces off the rim, back onto the court. Bitters is in danger position, but Yem cutting out the danger when his teammate needed to be. Big demo from Bitters, but it's not really going to have much of an effect because the ball is on the other side of the court for the time being, and looking like they were struggling on deciding who was going to go for that, but it was going to be Bitters in the end, and Jaffa and Yem hunting down the ball, trying to make sure that their opponent doesn't get possession of it after that encounter. Jaffa going to knock it up. Oh, very close to going in, and apologies, just saw a team bump there. Very easily done on this size of court. It's as they keep going on, it is tiny, but very close attempt from Bitters there on full boost. Again, one of the things you have to contend with on this pitch size is the lack of boost, because it's so small that your opponents can just really boost starve you. But there it is, Dog with a Log going to take the first game in this best of 5. Not too much in the way of goal disparity, that's for sure, in this first game. So definitely going to be an interesting one. Seemed like there was potentially a mistake in there that cost them a game on //dot side, but nothing you can't come back from in this marathon, as it is not a sprint. Or maybe it is on this size of a court, but here we go. The second game, first kickoff, 5 minutes on the clock. Who's going to take this one? Dog with a Log now with an advantage under their belt. Just have to close it out very quickly if they want to secure this win. But //dot not going to be wanting to make it easy for them for the time being. Big demo from Jaffa, taking one of the attackers off the field just for the time being, and Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up to Jaffa, and Jaffa gonna bring it back towards / dot side of the court. I almost keep calling it a pitch, but not really gonna matter much for the time being. / dot keeping that pressure going. Yem with a nice clearance there, but being starved of boost by his opponent, who's just taken 2 big boosts from right under his nose and gonna take full advantage of that and score a goal, a basket even, for his teammate, for his team. And that was a beautifully done dribble, air dribble through on shot and right in the back corner there. Not really much the defense was able to do about that one. Here we go, another kickoff, 40 seconds into this game. Not being disappointing at all in terms of the amount of goals scored. We'd love to see that. A lot of action happening. Bitter's going to steal another big boost from Yem there. Going to keep his opponent the boost starved for the time being. But, ooh, huge challenge there in the midfield from Yem. But is it going to pay off? Is Jaffa's going to get that save? But Yem able to pass that to Jaffa. Beautiful pass, and there it is. It was a beautiful piece of teamwork there. We love to see it. Yem getting the clearance off that backboard. Jaffa reading it and just getting that beautiful redirect, making sure that it gets where it needs to go. It's even Stevens once again. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left on the clock. The third kickoff of this second game in this best of 5. Anybody's game for the time being, but definitely Yem and Jaffa are going to be wanting to get another game for themselves. And oh, that was unlucky on the side of / dot. Just not quite getting the touch they wanted. Yem putting the ball exactly where he needed it to go, and looking like both defenders got a touch, but not the ones they needed to stop that from going in. Dog with the log now in the lead of this second game, and a bit of a tussle in the midfield on that kickoff for that ball, and nobody quite coming away cleanly from it. Jaffa going to get a clearance back towards Yem, towards / dot's corner, but Bitter's going to get a clearance back towards the midfield. Nathan going to get a touch back towards his opponent's goal. It's off the rim. Bitters, what can he do of this? Can he confuse his defender too much? And looked like it wasn't the case. Yem on the ball, going to be bringing it back towards his opponent's corner. Going to steal that boost from under his opponent, and there it is. Boost starving one of his opponents. The other opponent wasn't quite in the correct position to stop that from going in. Was on the backboard, but didn't quite get the touch they wanted. It's 3-1 to Dog with a Log in this matchup. Still plenty of time for / dot to make a comeback in this game, but Yem and Jaffa certainly making it an uphill battle for them. Jaffa getting a nice touch. Going to be bringing that all the way, but there's Bitters on the backboard trying to stop that from becoming any more dangerous than it should have been. Yeah, I'm going to get that touch in the midfield. Slow his attackers down a little bit, but not quite getting the clearance he wanted. But there it is, a beautiful touch over the rim and just not going to clear for the time being. But Nathan and Bitters making sure to make their opponents' lives difficult, causing a little bit of chaos in the midfield there, taking an opponent out. Stop. That attack has been stopped just when they needed it to. Beautiful touch on the backboard. Bit of a double commit, actually, now that I think of it, but nothing going to stop them for the time being. It's back in their own corner for / dot. Can they clear the danger in the time that they needed to? Jaffa getting a big demo, taking out a defender for the time being, but he's back in the game now. Going to get a touch, and there it is. Yem is going to cut that in the midfield. Going to get the clearance he wanted, but not quite in the position he needed it to be. And there it is. Jaffa's going to just chip that over the rim, and the defense looked a little bit shaky for a second there, almost second guessing themselves as to how high up on the backboard they should have been. But going to be 4-1 to Dog with a Log. 3-goal advantage now. 1 minute and 44 seconds left on the clock, but still not out of the game just yet for / dot. Beautiful pass from Yem to Jaffa, but Jaffa not quite getting the touch he wanted, not quite getting the angle he needed to slot that home for a 5th goal. There it is, another attempt, but Bitters on the backboard getting a nice clearance for the time being. Yem going to cut it out in the midfield, and there it is, very close to being another goal, but somebody, I didn't quite catch who that was, just knocking that clear, and there another beautiful basket scored from Yem, who got a nice touch off the backboard, and Jaffa went for this. Jaffa went for a touch to make sure that it went in, but it was going in no matter what. Another kickoff, 5-1 here. Looking like potentially the fate is sealed in this game too. Yem and Jaffa certainly seem to be holding on to the lead. Seemed a little bit shaky at the start there. You know, we had that instance where it was even Stevens, but once they got power behind the ball and got that momentum back in them, they certainly have seemed like the more dominant force in this matchup so far. Here we go, Nathan on the ball, trying to get his teammate into a better position to score that, but not quite working out for them for the time being. Bitters was on full boost when I started my sentence, but not really relevant anymore. Nathan getting a nice touch in the midfield. Can he trick his opponent to make a move? And Bitters is going to cut the ball out, bring it back towards his opponent's net, but bouncing off the rim, and Yem is able to make an easy clearance for that. Unfortunate on the side of //dot, but trying to cause a little bit of chaos, a little bit of bumping in the midfield there, make their opponents on the back foot. 1 second on the clock, and there it is, touches the ground. Dog with a log gonna take game 2 in this best of 5. Looking like they're definitely in the driver's seat for the time being. Just seeing what's happening here, as it seems that one of the players on //dot has left the game, but gonna have to keep you updated as the situation unfolds. So yeah, it seems definitely that Dog with a Log, they kind of managed to just get that first game, and then second game were a little bit shaky, a little bit, weren't as confident. And when they got that second goal, it seemed that from there they were just in the driver's seat from that point onwards. //dot doing a good job on the defense, just getting a little bit lucky with some of the potential would have been clearances or saves on that front, but definitely not out of this game just yet. There's still potential for them to take it to where they needed to go, potential for them to get it to a point where they needed to be. They could get lucky, they could get that little bit more momentum that they need to take this third game, which would force a fourth game, and potentially in a fourth game take it to a fifth game. It's all up for grabs, is probably the best way of putting it. And here we go, game 3, kickoff 1, and there, nice chip from Yem, but defense getting in the way, stopping that from becoming anything more. Jaffa's on the attack again. No, nice clearance from Nathan on the backboard, gonna be bringing it down towards his opponent's side of the court, but Yem is in the way and going to be causing some disruption to that counter-attacking movement off the backboard. Nathan there to intercept that ball. Yem, nicely done, bringing it back towards his opponent's corner, and Jaffa there to follow up. Nathan getting a beautiful save, knocking that clear of his basket. Just in the nick of time, Bittersweet getting another nice save, nicely done. The clearance a little bit lackluster for the time being, but that is the case in such a small court. Nice bump getting Jaffa out of the way, but it doesn't matter. He's recovered very quickly, going to be trying to make a move, trying to potentially get it in the basket. Was waiting for his teammate there, wasn't quite in the right position, and Nathan, N-Dot, I think that's Nathan, N-Dot, I'll call you from now on. Getting a nice clean save back towards the midfield. And yeah, I'm going to be knocking it towards his opponent's basket, but Bitters there to stop the danger, get it towards Dog with a log side of the court. Yem get a nice touch off the backboard, gonna clear it of his net for the time being. Jaffa there to follow up, but Bitters on the backboard, going to get a beautiful full court clearance, and there is a Yem just catching his opponents off guard in that brief moment and getting a nice pinch. Was that a pinch from the corner off the sidewall and just knocking it clean home? It is Dog with a log in the lead for the time being in this game 3. They want to be locking it down now because it could secure them a place in that winners grand finals, but very close there. It was almost a point on the board for //dot, but seemed to just roll around the rim there a little bit and just come back out, and seems that they are on the counter attack, but Jaffa going to clear that towards the midfield. Yam there to follow up, but not quite getting the touch. Maybe not the power that they wanted. Chipped over towards //dot's basket, but nothing comes of it for the time being. N-Dot on full boost. Now there is a huge demo from Jaffa, but couldn't quite get the angle of the touch he wanted on that, and seemed to concede that he wasn't going to score that one. Clearance from Bittersweet. Jaffa there to cut out the danger for the time being, but it's not gone just yet. Jaffa on the backboard, going to get a touch, but Bitters there to follow up. It's potentially here going to be for... No, it's not off the rim. Oh, so unlucky for //dot. So unlucky for Bittersweet getting a touch, but not quite in the direction he wanted. It seems the counterattack is off for the time being. Yam off the sidewall, going to be trying to get his teammate into a better position for goal scoring opportunity, but nothing comes of it. Another big demo from Jaffa, taking an opponent off the board for just a brief moment of time, but can they capitalize on it? Jaffa soaring past N-Dot there, really with some great speed and almost seeming like he was trying to get in his opponent's head. N-Dot going to take a beautiful shot, but it's just a little bit off target for the time being. Bittersweet going to be getting a touch coming off the backboard, but knocked clear by Yem. Can N-Dot make anything of this? Ooh, not quite off the basket that the ball can't go through, but the players can. Bitters trying to get better position on the ball for himself and his teammate. Yam going to get a nice clearance off the backboard towards the midfield, but Bitters there to cut it out. Jaffa's going to get a touch, but can he get the clearance away for the time being? It's there, but Yam able to follow up beautifully off the backboard even. That was some great power behind that one from towards Dog with a log side of the court. Off the backboard, defender not quite getting the touch they needed on it. And in it goes 2-0, 55 seconds left on the clock. They're not out just yet, but the danger of them getting knocked down towards the loser's bracket is becoming even more of a reality now for //dot, but trying to make their opponents' lives difficult, going for shots, keeping the pressure towards Dog with a log side. Yam trying to get the clearance, trying to be a little bit fancy with it, but doesn't quite work out for the time being. Bitters is there, but Jaffa there as well, making sure it doesn't go in. And trying to keep control in the midfield. Back towards Bitters. Yam thinking he was going to go for that, but not making the split-second decision at the end to not. Danger still there. Yam trying to get touch on the ball, trying to get that clearance. Nice touch off the defender, or the attacker even, I should say. And Jaffa's going to try and almost a third point for them, but it's rolling around. It's not quite deciding what it wanted. And there it is, touches the ground, and Dog with a log going to take this best of 5. That was an exhilarating matchup, I will say. It seemed like Dog with a log, once they got in their stride, were in control. And //dot, we're doing a good job at keeping themselves in the game for as long as they did. But it is a clean sweep for Dog with a log, who are going to be moving on to the grand finals in this 2v2 hoops RLI. Yeah, definitely an interesting one for sure, but we'll have to wait and see who moves on from the losers final. I'm just having a look at the bracket here. I don't want to give too many spoilers just yet. In the quarterfinals, we've still got one game going. We've already got our semi-final, one of our semi-final teams decided, but 24 minutes still. Semi-finals for the losers is confirmed to be on stream as well this evening, so that'll be an interesting. I'm excited to see who takes quarterfinals because I know who one of the semi-final teams are going to be, and definitely two players that I'm going to have to keep. How would I say? Going to have to keep. I'm trying to think of the words. It's not quite coming to me just yet, but favoritism? Keep favoritisms out of it. It's probably the best way I can put it in this moment in time. Definitely going to be interesting. That other matchup on quarterfinals should be finishing up just in a moment, but we will wait and see. It's looking like the two teams who are playing in the other quarterfinal matchup is Wildcards versus Hoop In for a Pint. Wildcards, of course, being Winter and Yuxula, and Hoop In for a Pint being Magic and Little Dutch Boy. So two very strong teams. And here we go. We are seeing people joining up in the lobby for the loser semifinals. One team, just for the time being. This will be the decider as to who goes up against // in the losers finals, as Dog with a Log are going to be sitting, waiting. Maybe not sitting. They're probably going to be playing in the meantime. But waiting for their next matchup, who will be the winner of the losers final.
A little too fast. I miss the days that we chill and relax. Where did the time go? It all passed. Now I need to go back. I had no worries, but always had plans. The only thing I did was take out the trash. Now it's much harder to laugh. Hard to get up and then work on my craft. Yeah. I need inspiration. Don't need no validation. No more medication. Just try some meditating. I don't need you to save me. Feel like all of you hate me. Everything's been so hard with all the situations lately. I just need to numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Well, maybe I'm done, maybe I've lost. Still putting up a fight because I love my mom, I love my family. When I was young, they would all look after me. I don't know why, but I feel like a burden. I spent my life overthinking my purpose. I can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma creeps up at me at the wrong moment. I just wanna numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. alive, can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn. And I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted. Can't copy, printed. Can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoken into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no cap when I be breaking this. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Welcome back to RL Ireland 2v2 Hoops Tournament. We are, of course, about to bring to you the losers semifinals, who will decide which will be the deciding game as to who will be going up against // the loser of the last game of the, I should say, the winners final there. We are just in the process of getting everybody into the lobby. A little bit of a spoiler as to who will be playing. If you are not keeping an eye on the bracket, it will be Wildcards versus Nate Esports. So Wildcards being Winter and Yuxula versus Large Grady and D-Lynch on the side of Nate Esports. So we are just getting into the lobby now, and teams are going to be joining up just in a second now, and we'll be getting this game on the road for you. It is going to be Nate Esports versus Wildcards. For sure, an interesting matchup. Like I said before the break, I'm going to have to keep all biases out of this for the time being. Y is Yaxula and Dot is Winter, apparently, so that helps me out in this casting session. Here we go. D-Lynch with a nice clearance there for the time being, but Yaxula in the midfield there to intercept. Winter going to be bringing up towards Nate Esports' side of the court, but D-Lynch there in an opportune position off the backboard to get the clearance on that one. Teammate looking like he's not in a position to get in there, but there it is, trying to get the touch. Got a touch on it, but not quite the one he needed, because the side of Wildcard seemed to be very strong on defense for the time being. D-Lynch going to move towards the basket, but nothing comes of it, and the counter-attack is real. The counter-attack is on. Yaxula going to be scoring an opening goal very early on in this match. 50 seconds off the clock, and there it is, the opening basket. 1-0 to Wildcards. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock with this second kickoff, still a lot of time to score points, and a kickoff goal in hoops from Grady there. Just seemed to get a better touch and bouncing off the wall and into the net, the basket net of the side of Wildcards. 1-1, even Stevens. That was 3 seconds, so not much has changed in that space of time. Yaxula getting a nice touch off that one, going for the flip reset, but not quite getting anything out of it. Maybe style points could be awarded, but not for the time being. Yaxula bringing that up towards the side of Nate Esports, trying to get a pinch there from Winter, trying to get a touch even towards off the backboard. Brady going to be bringing that up fast and fierce, getting a touch, getting the clearance, but not quite out of harm's way. Oh, very close. Just seemed to teeter on that lip there and just falling short that little bit. Winter here trying to get boosts, just trying to keep his opponent from getting boosts as well off the ceiling. D-Lynch there to cut the danger for the time being, but Yaxula as well in there, just in the way, causing difficulty for his opponents. Winter trying to get power behind it, maybe not the best decision if you want to get a swish in this, but here we go. Yaxula going to bringing it up from the corner. Grady there to intercept in the midfield, going to get a touch, but not quite getting it towards target, getting knocked off course by Winter. Back to D-Lynch in the side of Nate Esports. Going to be getting the clearance there. Back into the midfield, back towards Wildcard, but Yaxula there in with a chance. And D-Lynch managing to get the save just in the nick of time. Grady going to be bringing it back towards their own corner. Yaxula there to intercept, bring it back towards the basket, and there it is. Not sure. There seemed to be a little bit of hesitation there from the side of D-Lynch. Couldn't quite keep his eye on the direction the ball was going. Couldn't quite read that. 2-1 to Wildcards. This is, of course, a best of 3 matchup, the losers semifinals. And looking very close for a goal. Seemed to just drop a little bit there. Dropped a little bit short as well. Nice attempt from Grady, not quite getting it on target. Or sorry, nice save from Grady, I should say. I got confused a bit. Colors there for a second. Yaxula here with a chance, but Grady able to stop that swooping save. Back towards his corner, back towards the midfield. Big demo from Winter there, taking out an attacker for the time being. D-Lynch not quite getting the touch he wanted on that. His opponent taking possession of the ball. Grady getting a nice defensive touch towards his own side of the court, but D-Lynch able to intercept that ball. Winter trying to get the touch, trying to stop D-Lynch from shooting that all the way from his own corner, and there it is. Almost like D-Lynch was playing time a little bit. Winter going in full commit for that ball and really just going for it. 2-2, even Stevens once again, 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. Ooh, very close attempt from Wildcards there, but D-Lynch able to knock that just up and out of the basket. Grady in very top corner, trying to make something of that situation, but nothing comes of it. And there is another goal from the side of Wildcards. They're trying to show Nate Esports who's in charge in this matchup. Nice touch from Winter, clear over D-Lynch, and just nothing he could have done to stop that going in off the backboard. Here we go, another kickoff, 3-2 to Wildcards now. Nice touch from D-Lynch off that kickoff, not quite getting the clearance he wanted on it just for the time being. D-Lynch trying to get a save, and ooh, very close from Wildcards, going to bounce out for the time being, but potential for another shot, and there it is. Nice layup from Winter, and Yaxula managing to just slot that home, take another goal from Nate Esports in the Ghostbusters mobile. An interesting choice of car for sure. And here we go, another kickoff, 4-2 for Wildcards. Nate Esports seem to be trailing a little bit for the time being, although it is only game 1 in this best of 3, so still potential for them to take a game from Wildcards, unless Wildcards isn't going to have a complete dominating force over their opponents in this matchup. Grady on the ball, going to get a nice chip, but not quite high enough to get over the rim of the basket there. Winter on the attacking play here. Grady going to steal that boost. Get into a little bit of an entanglement there with Winter in the midfield, but Yaxula able to clear the danger, and there it is, another shot from the side of Nate Esports. Yaxula bringing it into his own corner. Winter there to read that pass, and beautiful shot, but D-Lynch able to just knock it that little bit clear of the rim there. 9 seconds left. The countdown is on. Who is going to get it? And there is an attempt from Nate Esports, but Yaxula just going to knock that clear, and it's not out of danger just yet. There it is, touching the ground at the last moment. It looked like somebody was going to go for that. I think that was Grady, but not quite getting there in time. Going to be game 1 for Wildcards. Going to be game 1 for Wildcards in this best of 3. 1 game down to Nate Esports. So definitely going to be going in with a disadvantage in the next game, but for sure to potentially give Wildcards a bit more of a run for their money. Certainly was a close game to begin with, but seemed to pitter out a little bit there towards the end. Wildcards just seeming that little bit more dominant force in the end moments. Here we go. Game 2 is it potentially a clean sweep for Wildcards, taking that spot in the losers finals, or are Nate Esports going to do anything about it? Not looking likely. Seemed like potentially D-Lynch caught off guard a little bit there. 1-0 opening kickoff goal in this matchup. For the time being, Wildcards in the lead. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock. It's up. Can D-Lynch get the touch he needs? He does, but looking like Wildcards both on the defense there, able to stop the danger just for the time being. Danger's not clear of their side of the pitch there, or the court there, just for the time being. D-Lynch gonna get a nice tasty demo there. Just take out that extra defender for the time being, but nothing comes of it. Grady is in the Batmobile now. Seems like we're throwing all the wacky cars out on the court today. Nice touch from Grady, but almost just passing it to Yaxula, who's going to take it into the corner, try and do something off the wall, but not really managing to be successful in that attempt. Grady going to get a touch back towards D-Lynch, who's going to take it up towards Wildcard's side of the court. Potential danger here, but knocked clear by the defender there. Back towards Nate Esports' side of the court. Big demo from Winter, going to pass it back to Yaxula in the midfield, who's got an opportunity here, but Grady coming off the backboard, managing to stop that from going in. Ooh, beautiful shot, beautiful attempt from Winter, but Grady able to intercept that right when his team needed him to. Counterattack is on, but now it's off again. Yaxula able to chip that over the basket rim, and was looking like it could have been a surefire shot for another goal for Wildcards, but not quite. Here we go again. The counterattack from Wildcards is on yet again. Winter tanking that up into the corner. Yaxula able to read that ball from his teammate. Grady gonna get a touch, but it's not gonna hit high enough. Yaxula able to block that clearance, and there it is. Another goal, another basket, I should say, from Wildcards in the lead 2-0. Nate Esports seemed to be trailing after that first game. They saw it happen a little bit, and trend seems to be continuing. Was unlucky on the kickoff goal, but seems they haven't been able to adapt to this playstyle of their opponent just for the time being. Grady potential in with a shot now, but Yaxula able to clear it just when his team needed it to. It was very close to being a goal for Nate Esports. A point even for Nate Esports. But counterattack is now on for Wildcards. Grady on the backboard, able to get the clearance towards his own corner, back towards the midfield. D-Lynch in a position to intercept that in the air, off the ceiling, but Yaxula able to read that ball very well. Potential here for another basket, and there it is. Beautifully done from Yaxula. Nice intercept in that corner of his own, and just getting a nice touch off that air dribble, knocking it clear of his opponent. Not much Grady could have done in that defensive play to stop that going in. 3-0 to Wildcards now. D-Lynch going to be going up for that touch, not quite getting it back towards his own side of the court. Yaxula there, very dangerous in this position, as we've seen this evening. Winter going to be trying to get the ball into a better position. Grady going to cut out possession, but not holding on to it. Potential here for Nate Esports to score a basket of their own, and just again teeter-tottering on the edge, not the ball knocking itself clear, and Yaxula able to get, was very close on scoring there, but D-Lynch able to knock that out of harm's way. Yaxula potential here, pass to Winter, but read by the defense there. D-Lynch getting a shot on basket, but nothing happening to this moment in time. D-Lynch getting a touch back towards Grady on the backboard, getting a clearance, but Winter in a dangerous position now, going to go for it. D-Lynch able to stop it right in its tracks, but the danger wasn't cleared well enough, and Yaxula managing to read that in the midfield, getting himself another point on the board. 4-0 for Wildcards. 1 minute and 25 seconds left on the clock, looking like Wildcards are trying to seal the deal for themselves, make sure that they are going ahead in this 2v2 tournament towards the losers finals, who they will be going up against // Looking like the counterattack potentially is on for Nate Esports if they can get the touches they need, but Yaxula just seeming like the dominant player in this game, in this series, always in the positions he needs to be when his team needs him to be there. Nice pass from Winter to Yaxula in the midfield, but looked like Nate Esports were going for the intercept and nothing came of it. Back towards their own corner now. Winter in a dangerous position, but it's going over. And D-Lynch going to cut that out, get a nice pinch off his own corner, and Yaxula being a little bit fancy with it, trying to get his teammate into potentially a better position for goal scoring opportunity, but nothing comes of it just yet. D-Lynch on the ball. Yaxula going to cut it out in the midfield. Nice little play there, forcing his opponent to make a move, and didn't quite work out for him. Going to be dribbling it in the same position for many, many touches, but trying to get fancy with it. 10 seconds left on the clock now. Looking like the fate of Nate Esports is sealed in this 2v2 hoops tournament. And now it's just a matter of when the ball is going to touch the ground. Looking like all of these players still trying to score a point for themselves, but Grady going to get it to touch the ground, and there it is. Wildcards are going to be moving on to the losers finals in this 2v2 hoops tournament. Definitely not going to be happy about that, Nate Esports, for sure. But another match to come very soon. / versus Wildcards. And now we're just waiting for teams to join up in this lobby for the lower finals, deciding who will be going up against Dog with a Log in the grand finals. This is, of course, a best of 5. So a little bit more of a marathon than a sprint. Hopefully that last game hasn't knocked the stuffing out of Wildcards for the time being. Hopefully they have enough stamina to take it to this game, this series finals, losers finals series. I think I'm finally losing my marbles now.
You are indeed, Gib. You are indeed. You finally aren't gonna be alone, Gib. I'm here. I've come to rescue.
D-Lynch, my rescuer, lost the last series, but here to co-cast with me. How are you feeling, D-Lynch, after that loss against Wildcards?
We had fun in the tournament. Not match. Winter, demo chasing non-stop. Didn't make it fun. But the rest was fun.
Good to hear. And that's one of the main reasons we all play Rocket League, is to have a bit of fun, and always nice to hear that it's been an enjoyable time for people competing.
Probably gonna take a while for the two teams to get ready and in the lobby and all that jazz. So I'd say we. I don't know. Actually, we have everyone already. I just happened to get kicked from the party by our lovely producer. Fun times, Gabe, isn't it?
Always fun times. How are you feeling about this matchup? We've got // who has a team name that keeps catching me out, versus Wildcards.
It's a rematch from earlier in the tournament. This time, just a longer format. So we'll see, can Wildcard get their revenge, Give, or will // dot? I was about to say .. Too many HTTPSs and too many networking, blah blah blah. Either way, we have gotten underway, Gib, and I'm gonna go for a nice little. Let's go for Game 5, Gib. Surely, Game 5 overtime. Let's give the street what they want.
Yeah, I think we all want a Game 5 to happen at some point in this series, in this tournament, I should say. And I think if Wildcards can keep their cool, they could potentially have a revenge play on their cards, so to speak. But I don't think that // dot are going to be making their lives any easier in doing so.
No, they're not going to make anyone's lives easier. If they really wanted to make our lives easier, Gib, what should theoretically happen is a sweep here and a sweep in the final. Nice and easy. We'll go home. Job well done. But I have a feeling the players on the pitch aren't going to want that to happen, unless it happens to their own team. But I feel like Dog with a Log are not going to let that happen.
2 clean sweeps and an early supper would be an easy night for us, but that never happens here, and very close to potential scoring opportunity there for // dot, but not clear by Wildcards for the time being. Potential here, the counter attack, but bad touch for the side of // dot. Back to Bittersweet? Pow. Okay, I've been calling Pow Bittersweet all evening, or I guess series.
That is what they have their Steam name as right now, but that is Pow. Famously in our life for a 1v1 All-Ireland victory against Shallow in Dublin qualifiers, I believe, but it's been around a bit. But they take that's really. I don't. Obviously, I wasn't there. I wasn't able to listen because I was playing while you were casting earlier, Gib. But we see there Nathan actually ties it up. Beautiful little air dribble. But hoops must be an interesting thing to cast. It's just a very interesting game mode. I don't think anyone really knows how to play it. They're all just doing everything mechanical possible and see what happens.
Yeah, for hoops, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think one of the main strategies is just boost starve your opponent as much as possible. I saw that a little bit in the first series I casted this evening, which was // dot versus Dog with a Log. We saw a little bit of boost starvation at one point, and then it seemed like all hell broke loose, and it was just pure chaos for a little bit.
Yeah, boost starving. I don't know. I've seen it once, and it did allow us to score in that last series, but I'd love to see a few more friendship kickoffs come off. When both players are center, the other one bumps them in to get that speed boost. I'm disappointed we haven't seen it, but how? It looks like as it's happening, we could easily have a remake of what's after happening in the upper bracket with both these teams.
Definitely seeming like // Nathan and Pau are definitely in the driver's seat at the moment. They seem to be controlling the pace of this game one just for the time being, and really showing wildcards whose boss potentially could be an inkling of foreshadowing of what's to come.
Foreshadowing indeed, but it's a longer format this time. It's not a best of three. A best of three you can kind of easily kind of win a best of three, not by just luck. Obviously you still need skill, but it's a lot harder to win the best of five. The longer a series goes, generally the better team kind of tends to come out on top, so we'll find out.
Yeah, definitely goes back to that idea that the casters of Rocket League are always talking about, in the sense that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I think teams do, especially when they have a longer series to play, they do become a more cohesive unit as the games go on.
Well, yeah, they're getting used to playing with each other more. I think, especially in this tournament, people aren't used to maybe playing hoops as much, so the more they play it, the more they'll start to get used to it. It's all about the learning curve. Because you might have played a lot in the past, but just with the touches you need to make, the way you need to hit the ball is completely different. So it's obviously you're relearning. Oh, I can't just go with my muscle memory here. As we see, though, oh, what a great save by Nathan, actually. Trying to stop the resurgence by wildcards, I think, yes. Yeah, the team names are going to get very confusing very quickly, aren't they?
They've been confusing, and my dyslexia is not having a fun time, for sure. Another goal from Pau. Seems to be a very capable player in hoops, at least. I haven't seen him play in anything else, but seems to be in control of this game. He's scored 3 goals for himself now, and definitely making wildcards life a living hell when he gets on the ball.
Yeah. We'll make it easy. Team wildcards and not wildcards.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds good to you. Nice and easy, but 20 seconds left. I think that is almost all but confirming the score of this game. But it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, game one, as we were saying, Marathon and Sprint, it's not the end of the world if you lose that game one. It's just how they react to losing that game one. But they are 1/3 of the way that they need to reach that upper final and get a rematch or a first chance against the Dog with a Log.
Yeah, if // Dot or not wildcards manage to get themselves this series, it will be another rematch on the stream versus Dog with a Log.
Yes, because I don't think wildcards got to play them. Only dot. I keep saying dot slash dot. You know, there is no physical way to even pronounce that. I think we just start calling them Team Nathan.
Not wildcards.
No. What? Yeah, well, not wildcards.
Yeah, definitely. One of the more interesting names I've had to cast through the.
Is there any funny team names or any team names in particular you can remember from any previous RLI tourneys you've casted to give that stand out to mind?
The last RLI tourney I casted, there was a team name that I just could not get. Every time I said it, it was an absolute travesty, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
One of my favourite team names of tournaments I've casted or in recent memory does involve a young large Grady. Teaming with a lovely Taste, or not Taste, It might have tasted a lovely Jezzical, if you remember the name, Gib. I'll leave the viewers' imagination figure it out.
I think I have an idea of what it was. I think it might have come up in a conversation recently with Grady, the man himself. But I think the team name that caught me off guard last RLI tourney I casted was Oily Rubber Duckies or something along those lines.
yes, I know what you're on about. Yes, but unfortunately, we don't have Larry Grady here with us. The man that everyone thinks is today's tournament admin, adding him for every single question, even though I'm the one posting every single announcement and saying any issues DM me. But Grady is the admin in the people's hearts. Skip.
I think it's potentially because he ends up being admin or answering everybody's questions about a lot of tournaments. It's not necessarily a reflection on you, I wouldn't say.
Oh no, I'm not. But that's what I'm saying. We want our Grady back. But well, we've been rambling on. 2 goals have gone in, 1 apiece. Not too shabby from there. What a lovely own goal by Yuzilla. Oh, that is not what you want really to be happening there. But I think wildcards, they'll only be laughing it off. I think they're just vibing.
Yeah, I'd say that they're definitely in good spirits after the last last series they played. You had a lot towards the end. You were definitely all kind of just going for more style points than anything. So I'd say definitely not going to be taking it to heart if they're on the back foot in this matchup.
That is all this tournament really is about. It's all about the style points. But let's see here. 2 goals. What is happening here? We're just seeing a million goals go in. I'm just confused what's happening. I look away for a second, or I try to think for a train of thought. This happens again. I'm too tired.
Yeah, Hoops is one of those game modes where just the change of play can happen in such a small time that by the time you've started your sentence, something else has happened.
As you're mid-sentence even, we see a lovely goal here by Xilla. Gets the reset off the ceiling, and he's beautifully dunking into the net. He is turning out to be an absolute difference maker for wildcards right now.
Yeah, you seem to be quite the force of nature in your matchup. You seem to be scoring a lot of those nets or baskets or goals or whatever you want to refer to them as, points even. How do you think he's faring up against his opponent of // dot or not wildcards?
I think he is really. I think he's way not very good. You know, his teammate Winter's weighing him down. Like, you know what I mean, Winter? Come on, man. No, we love you, but Yuzilla is. You can see why he's got a lot of good results recently in RLCS in 3s and 1s. He's been kind of making a few strides in that regard, but Winter doesn't like me trash talking him right now, and he has to get a piece of the action himself. Give.
Yeah, it is a team sport now, after all. But I don't know many of the players in RLI on a personal level, so I feel like I can't trash talk them as much as you, for sure. But a nice save there from Winter, just knocking it clear of his own basket. Wildcards leading now, 4-2. So definitely seems somebody has flipped the script a little bit after that first game.
Yeah, flipped the script indeed. But as I say that, I guess sidetracked by saying the word indeed. It's one of my favourite filler words that I have been pointed out numerous times, but we'll see. Because it's going to be interesting. 2 minutes left on the clock. We've seen 6 goals, as it. Do you think we could probably see a few more? Hopefully, but Nathan gets an instant dunk there. because I suppose we are in the dunk house, Gib, and I'd love to see a few more dunks, wouldn't you?
Yeah, with that scoreline, I was honestly thinking that we must be towards the end of this game, but a minute and a half left. Still, I think potentially one or two more dunks, and there it is. Winter managing to just. It was very clean from Winter. Not too much power, just making sure he guided it into the basket there. Past the defense. Very nicely done.
No, that's too shabby. I want to see a nice, lovely alley-oop, though. That's what I'd love. A nice booming ball down the pitch, big pre-jump. That is what I want to see anyway. I just want to see people freestyle and score as many goals as possible. As in, if Shark were in this tournament, I think we would lose all fabric of what is actually this game mode. But Nathan, trying to claw one back here for not wildcard, as we have officially designated their name as. But a minute left. With the amount of goals we've seen already, it's still easily possible for not wildcard to come back.
Yeah, especially on such a small court. I always find that hoops throws me off because it's so small.
Sorry, I was yawning there, but no, it is. It's indeed like it's a smaller court. So those reads are going to get you off just that extra bit because you're going to put on the same amount of power in a shot you thought would have worked in normal competitive game modes, and then all of a sudden it's way too far and it's coming bouncing right back towards you. It's an interesting game mode to get your head around. But one goal is all that separates these two teams now. This would be a very epic comeback if not wildcard can make some magic happen. But
yeah, it'd be a nice little comeback story for them for sure. After being 3 goals down for quite a large amount of time, and then managing to claw themselves back into this game 2 in about a minute and a half.
But they need to make something happen now. They need to throw the kitchen sink at it, as we love to say. But 10 seconds left on the clock. They want to just pass it right back to Xula. Nathan, can we get a touch so far? I'm getting confused which one is which. The names have changed for me, but we'll see one last chance here. Tries to pop it up for his teammate, but Winter is there. And we know, as another jargon we love to do is effectively it's a best of 3 now, Gib. One apiece.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one going into game 3, because we saw not wildcards kind of dominate a little bit in that first game, and now it seems like wildcards have had the comeback, and going into game 3, it's anyone's game.
It really is anyone's game, because we saw wildcards, they were dominating so early on, but then they could come back from not wildcards, and we'll just have to wait and see how this game goes. And I need to be careful there not to join wildcards team. I give a 3v2 advantage. Make sure to go to spectate. But Xilla, he kind of loves using a different card every series, you see. I don't know was he using a different earlier today, but he was using the Ecto earlier. Now he's in the Knight Rider for this series. The funky cards might give him a bit of an advantage with the length.
I saw Grady had tried to adopt that strategy with the Batmobile in game 2 of the best of 3 there.
He did. I would say it worked for his mentality. It definitely did. It definitely helped his mental. I would say that, kid.
Yeah, he tried to convince me the other day that the Batmobile is a potentially viable option for competitive play these days after a result in RLCS, but not sure if I'm going to take that advice to heart.
If this was years ago, before the Batmobile got nerfed, when each car had its own unique hitbox, then yes, he would be correct. As former world champion, and a historic, one of the best ones players to ever exist, Fairy Peak, did exclusively use that Batmobile. Fun history lesson there for you.
Well, thank you for the history lesson. I always enjoy learning more about Rocket League, especially the comp side of stuff, as I'm not as well versed as a lot of the casters in RLI are.
But that doesn't mean you can't do as an effective job as the rest of us give.
Oh, thank you, D Lynch, for that. Words of encouragement. Seems like // or not wildcards are in the lead for the time being, but as it is hoops and as it is Rocket League, that can change very quickly, as we've seen this evening.
And change at a moment's notice. I see a lovely bump come out there. I think that's something which I don't know. Bumps, they do generally help, but I don't know, are they as big impact in this mode as others? If you get to demo, obviously, but it's interesting because they nearly while they take your opponent out, they take you out of the game as well. So it's interesting. But Yugzula, he has the time and space, but he's too close to it. He tries to get a little doink, he can't. Winter's up. It's rolling in. How? Or is it Nathan? I don't know which one. They both have been the same name. Goes right flying past it, and it's equalized.
Yeah, I think that was Pow.
I think it was Pow. Oh, that's some way to equalize again.
Yeah, just get your opponent to full commit on that save and not quite get the touch you want. There it is, though. A goal for wildcards to lead this one. Again, just another case of getting. We've seen Yaxula. I saw Yaxula do that in your series, where just manages to get in the way of the ball and knock it back towards the net or the basket. That it always catches me out as to what to say in terms of where the net should be.
The point scoring area.
That's probably the best way of putting it. But will I remember to say that? Probably not.
No. But you can call it whatever you want, and good thing Winter was there to bail Yugzula out, because if he tried to go for that, the rim was right in its way, and that's something that throws a lot of players off. Which is that rim. You try to jump for a ball normally, and then all of a sudden you plonk your head right into that. But one goal to the good, 2 minutes remaining. We have wildcards trying to regain their lead in this series, because effectively whoever takes this next game is in a proper driving seat there. They only have to win one of the next two after this. Puts a lot of pressure on their opponents, but we're not going to say that not wildcards are any slouches, and they're going to try and make some magic happen.
Yeah, it seems like a very back and forth moment in time in this game 2 or game 3. Apologies. Seems like once somebody gets a counterattack, the defense is there to stop it and get their own. But that being said, looking like Winter's gonna style points, getting that bump at the end and just knocking the defender out of position. It was very nice.
No, well, it's lovely by Winter. One of the effective ways when you're in the. I gotta say, that's all his countless hours of 1v1 experience proving dividends right there. With just knowing what to do, because often what defenders tend to do in hoops is they'll try and defend rather than just sit in the net and try and defend it. They'll defend the backboard because that's where most shots are coming from. But we see another goal there coming out from Pow, and half in the deficit, but they still need one more if they want to even think about winning this game.
Yeah, Pow reading that ball very well, and Yaxula on the defense just full commit again. I like seeing these full speed, full commits in hoops because it's just not something you would necessarily always see in regular Rocket League. People tend to take more time on defense when they have that greater space to play with. But definitely in hoops, it forces people to make those rash decisions.
I suppose that's partly why players tend to just go full commit on so many plays, because the pitch is smaller. They have more time to. Well, they have less ground to cover when they want to recover. So it's they can try. They have a lot of advanced mechanics these days, because especially at this level with these kind of players, they know how to recover quickly, and they will try to can just get back so easily. But because if you take any bit of time and space, slow it down, there's gonna be one of them on top of you straight away. And Wildcards take this game number 3. They are on series point, and they are 1 game away from facing Dog with a Log, who await the winners in the upper final, the grand final game, I should say.
Yeah, the grand finals looking like Wildcards are definitely going for that revenge plot of being knocked out of the winners semis down to the losers quarters and kind of clawing their way back to taking on the position in grand finals against Dog with a Log.
Dog with a Log, consisting of EM and Jaffa. They are waiting patiently to see who can possibly try and even attempt to defeat them, because as far as I'm aware, I don't think they've dropped a single game yet in this tournament. I would have to confirm that, but it's an impressive feat nonetheless. As we see, Nathan dives quickly, but just ends up passing it to Yugzula. Takes it to the air, finds the Winter, shoots directly, but that's too much of a normal competitive shot. Hits directly into that crossbar, that rim. And that's an absolutely beautiful flip reset by Nathan. And he gets a lovely pass infield by Pau. Opts for the flip reset straight away, and Yugzula can't get back. 1 goal to the good for not Wildcards, Gib.
Yeah, there was a nice finish, nice bit of play there, but looking like Wildcards are going to be wanting to even this game out a little bit as soon as possible. Try and make sure that they're still in the game. They do have that game advantage under their belts, but definitely not wanting to drop this one right at the finish line and end up having to take it to a game 5.
No, that would be disastrous for Wildcards. They want to try and finish the series now. They want to put it to the dagger, but see Yugzula tries to make some fancy shenanigans happen, but gets saved well. Winter beats the man. Yugzula, he finds it on target. Winter secures it, and we now have another tight game.
Yeah, even Stevens once again. Winter just making sure that goes in. It looked like there was nobody on the back line to defend it, but had to make sure just in case somebody got back just in the nick of time. Another kickoff, 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Definitely anybody's game to take that final, take another game, I should say. But as I was saying that, Pau managing to sneak that in past, looked like it was Winter there. Almost looking like he got a bump on him. And it's now, once again, not Wildcards in the lead.
Not Wildcards. Our designated name for them. But that's a lovely dunk there by Nathan. Oh, Winter, is he going to go for it? Oh, he tries to go for the psycho. Can't make it happen. 2v1 opportunity now. He needs to make it happen. Oh, and he does. He just doesn't get the proper connection there. You see the pre-jumps. Nathan Pau tries to go for the musty play, but ends up handing it over to the opposition. I cannot speak English today, Give. It is absolutely beautiful. Pre-jump off the ceiling. What is happening here? Wait, is that rolling in? Oh, Pau doesn't let Calamity strike there, but I don't know, Gib. I'm gonna let you talk now. I am just confusing myself.
Yeah, looking like Yaxula gonna even the scores once again. Nice bit of play off the wall there. Nathan getting a touch, but not quite the one he wanted to stop that from going in. Yaxula just managing to make it look easy. Another kickoff, 2-2. Even Stevens once again. Anybody's game. Wildcard's gonna be wanting to finish this out quickly so they can fight against Dog with a Log for that winning spot in the grand finals. Yaxula, though, managing to bring it back for his team. Nice little bit of play from his own corner off the ceiling, and that was a clean swish into the basket of // Once again in the lead now, off the backboard, and there it is. 2 goals in very quick succession, or 2 points in very quick succession. Nice little kickoff score there, off the backboard, off the rim, and that was clean. That was very clean.
Very clean indeed, and they have doubled their lead, but they've also doubled their chances of holding that lead until the end of the game. I say that though, the ball goes off the backboard. Nice little touch by Yaxula. Nathan can't find the redirect. Yaxula has to defend the 1v2 opportunity there, but he does well. They just need to hold on for the next 2 minutes, and they would have earned their spot to face Dog with a Log for the first time. As we see there though, oh, Pau gets the reset one. Nathan finds the dunk, and he is turning out huge for his team right now.
Yeah, just managing to sneak that past Winter, getting that extra little touch to secure another goal for himself and his team. Still down by 1 goal, but not potentially out of the running just yet. Game 5 still on the cards, unless Wildcards can extend their lead that little bit more, give themselves that little bit more of a wiggle room, a bit more of a cushion for themselves, and Yaxula is going to give that to them. The cushion, the little bit more of an edge just for the time being. Great ball control to stop that from flying over the other side of the rim. Here we go again. Another kickoff. Definitely not short of point scoring opportunities in this matchup, in this game 4. Wildcards now trying to seal the deal, trying to put the final nail in the coffin for // Dot, aka not Wildcards if you are only just tuning in now. That is what we've been calling them, because ridiculous names get ridiculous replacements.
Yes, not Wildcard, aka Team Nathan, whatever people prefer, because // is... Oh, I said it again, // dot. Oh my, you know what, ban team names that can't be any bit pronounced. Blame the tournament admin game on that one, that is disgraceful. But 30 seconds remaining. They just need Wildcard just need to hold on. Whereas not Wildcards. They need to throw the kitchen sink at it. They need to make something happen. But effectively, I think with this little time left, it is almost certain. That is it. I'm calling it game. Congratulations, Wildcards. You have made the grand final.
Yeah, the revenge is a dish best served cold, and that is definitely the case for Wildcards. Yaxula putting a little bit of style on that last one, securing their win in this losers final. It will be Wildcards facing off against Dog with a Log in the grand finals, I should say. D-Lynch, how are you feeling about Wildcard's chances against Dog with a Log?
I'm not too certain, because Dog with a Log, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Yem, probably the best player signed up in this tournament. He is just unbelievable. We know We know how good he is. We know how high he's been performing in RLI over the years, but Jaffa's no slouch either. Another player well known throughout the scene, many high placings in many tournaments. So when you have two players that are as good as they are, it'll be tough to see can Yuxula and his backpack go hard enough, Gib.
Yeah, going to be an interesting one. Just to confirm, you were saying earlier that you don't think Dog with a Log has dropped a game yet in this tournament. You are correct in saying that. So Yem and Jaffa seem to be on top of their game in terms of hoops this evening.
They are top indeed. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. As we're going to try and get the players into this lobby anyway. And we'll see how quickly we can and whether we stall a break, I don't know. But yeah, I think just while we're getting the teams in, we're gonna cut just to a small break there, Gib.
Sounds good to me. Welcome back to RL Ireland 2v2 Hoops. It is now the grand finals, Dog with a Log versus Wildcards. D Lynch, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm excited, Gabe. I'm very excited because obviously we're going to enjoy some very high quality hoops here, as we've seen Wildcards producing some absolutely phenomenal goals. Dog with a Log, you get to drop a single game in this tournament, and I'm hoping for an absolute banger of a series. But for Jaffa's sake of wanting to go out tonight and us potentially wanting some sleep, I wouldn't say no. I either want it to be a clean sweep for Dog with a Log or Game 7 overtime. I want no in between game.
Yeah, a nice comeback story for Wildcards in a Game 7 would be nice for them. Definitely an underdog story if we're looking at Dog with a Log's track record in this tournament. But like you said, I think a clean sweep could potentially be on the cards for the likes of Jaffa and Yem.
And if you had to give a prediction, I think I know which way you're probably going to say. Who do you have taking it?
I have a strange feeling that Dog with a Log are going to take it, but it could be a case of Wildcards are going to take a game or two off them.
That very easily could happen. We have a lot of very high quality players in this lobby. So we'll just have to wait and see. As we see Yuxula flying past the ball there, but sends it downfield. Yem getting caught out a small bit there. And they have to be careful with positioning, because if Yuxula gets a bit of time and space, he will end up capitalizing, but he can't find the angle there. Just a bit too tight.
Yeah, your predictions or your astute observations, I should say, that Yuxula is changing to kind of more novelty cars as the tournament goes on. It seems like he's in a somewhat looks a bit like a Dodge Charger mixed with a to the future DeLorean on the back end.
It's not the DeLorean. Yeah, it's not the DeLorean because that does have its own car. I have to ask him what. Oh, I can't tell what car it is. It looks like a bit of a Dominus, but it's not. It might be one of the. I say it might be one of the million versions of the Dodge Charger in this game, but you see wild cards equalising there with a goal from Winter. The kickoff fails. Were they going for a friendship kickoff? Yeah, that's the one thing I've actually been very disappointed. I haven't seen one successful friendship kickoff, Kib. For any of our viewers unfamiliar with hoops, the friendship kickoff is when both players are in the middle spawn and the front guy gets bumped by the behind person as they're jumping to just fling them towards the ball. But we need more of that action, Kib.
Yeah, we need to see some interesting kickoffs. Keep us a little bit more, we love a standard kickoff, but at the same time, it would be exciting to see something a bit more out there. Here we are with Winter, Yaxula in the Vin petrol car.
The Vin petrol car.
I presume it's a Fast and Furious sort of car.
Maybe not. I don't know. We're gonna call it a different name every time it says the pinch of the basket of the air. I've never thought of that. What do you call that area where you can't go underneath it? I've never actually thought what to call that.
I presume it's a net because basketball.
Yes, that's the word I couldn't think of. Thank you for filling in my blank vocabulary, but that is an absolutely lovely goal for New Zealand to take the lead. Oh my god. The amount of power he gets there. Gets the reset off the ceiling, gets the must-see, and that is why he's swapping cars every game and going for the length. You just get so much power on them, kid.
Yeah, that was a beautiful finish, far outside the scope of anything I'm capable of in hoops, for sure. I struggled to get it over the rim to begin with, so definitely a beautiful one. But now in the lead, it is wildcards, potentially proving my predictions wrong, which, to be completely honest, is something that happens quite frequently. So Caster's Curse always comes back to bite me. But then again, it is only game one in a best of 7. And there is still a whole lot of time for Dog with a Log to make up the difference. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock, and Jaffa, beautiful touch off the backboard, and it's just ping-ponging between defender and basket rim there. Off the backboard, onto the rim, onto the side of the rim, and then it goes 2-2. Even Stevens once again. 1 minute and 59 seconds left on the clock. Nice kickoff from Winter, passing it back towards Yam, but Yam not quite reading that pass. Or, sorry, Yaxula. This is going to get confusing. Y and N. Nice little chip from Yam there.
Was a lovely chip. I don't know whether Howlon's been muted, but my mic was muted, Gib, so that may not be why. I was like, what? Why has Gib been talking so long consistently without letting me in? So I'm like, okay, that would explain it. Another D-Lynch moment for everyone love in the stream, but I don't know whether you're aware, Gib, but we'll call this game 1. Or is it game 2? I don't know what we want to call it, because effectively, Dog with Logs, since they did come through that upper bracket, they do have a 1-game advantage, Gib, so if they win this, they will be 2-0 up in the series.
Interesting. So 1 game advantage already if they can manage to sneak this game from under Wildcard's nose. 2 games to their name in this best of 7. Definitely going to be in a better position for themselves. But looking like pretty much the case of, I was about to say something that has now become irrelevant as Yaxula manages to sneak that in under the defense of Dog with a Log. Double commit, huge double commit from both Yem and Jaffa there, and nobody there to stop that from just straight into the bottom of the basket there. Another kickoff, 3-2, 2 wild cards. Potentially going to even the odds a little bit if they can hold on to this lead for the next 35 seconds.
Obviously, another goal there. They've doubled their lead, and it looks like they're going to prove some predictions wrong. And they're going to take this game too if they can hold it out. But as they say, the old saying goes, double commit, double the chances of scoring or defending. Didn't necessarily work out, but Yugzula, he is really showing some absolute class stuff in the hoops arena right now. On the court, I should say. Yeah,
definitely seems to be the novelty car is working in his favor at the moment. Getting huge style points for sure, and managing to sneak goals one after the other. But there's Winter trying to contribute a little bit to his team's scoreline. 11 seconds, looking like this is all for sure, all but sure even, going to be a win for wildcards in this game too. So it'll be back to even Stevens, anybody's best of 7 at that rate, with 5 games left after this.
Yes, they've effectively turned this into a best of 5 as we see a 6 goal to top it off there for wildcards. And now it's weird, we don't get to say not wildcards anymore. I'm kind of sad, I miss them.
I miss them, but I definitely do not miss trying to remember how to say their name every time.
Not wildcards.
Not wildcards, yeah. I mean before that. Before you were unfortunately knocked out of the tournament with Grady, you I was definitely calling them // every time I wanted to mention them.
Better than me saying ... / every single time, without fail. But we're going to get this game underway. 1 apiece in the series. And it's going to be interesting to see, can Dog with a Log kind of pick it up a bit? Because for most of that game, they were dead even with them. They were really close. But we see there though, Yugzula starting off this game as the end of the last, scoring goal after goal. 1 goal to the good for wildcards.
Yeah, it's looking to me like Yugzula potentially has a future career as a hoops pro. The amount of points he's put on the board for him and his teammate just seems to be his true calling in life.
Maybe he should think it, because there actually is like a competitive hoops scene game, funnily enough. And there's some players there the whole time. Winter gets past one, the air dribble. Oh, I can't just find the target. Yugzula absolutely freestyling there, but yeah, cuts out any of that nonsense before he can continue. That's a great touch by Yugzula. Trying to get past one, he's staying behind it. He's just so effective at staying behind that ball and getting as many touches as possible, just confusing the opponents. But we see here, ball's rolling there. Jaffa can't find the target. He passes it over to him. Or to him? To nobody, I should say. But the ball is just gifted back to Jaffa. A minute and a half gone in this game, more or less, and Dog with a Log, they haven't looked too threatening now. They kind of really need to step up their game a bit if they want to make anything happen again.
Yeah, they're definitely getting into those danger positions, but once they're there, it seems like wildcards are able to just snuff out any attacking play and really show them who's boss. That being said, there it is again, the Caster's Curse. Yem going to even the score for this game and just get it off the backboard and back towards the front of the rim there, and both defenders not really able to do anything after that attempt. But back again, 3 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of time for more point scoring opportunities. Winter going to get it off the backboard, faking out his opponent there. Yaxula in dangerous positions, but Yem cutting the danger just when his team needed it. Jaffa going to get a touch, try and chip it up, but nobody there to read that pass, and back towards Dog with a Log side of the court. Potential there, but Yem able to stop that. Not much trouble to him. Winter full committing to that ball, but going under it. Yem with potential in the danger zone, but nice cut from Winter stopping that play. Yaxula seemed to be playing time a little bit, waiting for that booster spawn back in, and now got possession of the ball. Going to be trying to add more flair, more flair. I was going to say something after that, but I completely lost thought.
That's generally what happens, Gib, as the monologue goes further and further. You had things you wanted to say and you kind of forget them. You might remember them in a second, but 2 minutes left. It's going to be interesting to see who can break that deadlock. Because if I were Doglog right now, even though the series is tied, they do need to start kind of looking a bit more threatening. And let's see there, the net is open. That's a great touch by Yaxula, and that's a brilliant save by Yem. But the ball's popping up backboard. Could be in. Winter can't. Yem. Low boost though. Let's see what happens. Gets the lovely flick. It's on target, but that's a great save by Winter. And he's really showing up in defense right now. Doing a lot of crucial saves. And then Yaxula do what the magic that he has give on the offense.
Yeah. Oh, apologies. Voice crack there. Winter doing amazing things on the defense, letting Yaxula kind of stay more towards the midfield and do what he does best, adding those style points onto those goal-scoring opportunities. But a minute left on the clock, and we're still 1-1. It seems that when Dog with a Log are in those attacking positions, in those kind of danger areas for getting points on the board, it's just a case of wildcards are able to cut them out and go very fast on the counter-attacking movement. And nice finish from Winter off the backboard and securing a lead for the time being. 45 seconds left on the clock. Potential here for Dog with a Log to score another point on their opponent, bring it back to a tie game, but not making their lives easy. Wildcards are, and definitely posing a bit more threat on the defense when Dog with a Log get into those attacking movements.
And as to say that was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant indeed from Yaxula. The beautiful corner read there. Oh my. Doubling the lead, and Dog with a Log, they kind of have to start getting a bit worried now.
Yeah, they came into this series with a 1-game advantage, so they definitely had the leg up, but Wildcards managed to, as I'm saying that, Yaxula just not quite getting the touch on that he wanted, and sending it soaring towards the bottom of his own basket, giving Dog with a Log a lifeline with 10 seconds left on the clock. The countdown is on, and potential here for Dog with a Log, but gonna go clear of the basket. Jaffa gonna get a touch, but it's not quite enough for the time being. Yaxula there. Oh no, he's trying to add style points to it, and very close to touching the ground, but the ball's still live, and Winter's gonna get the save just when his team needs it. Not out of danger yet, and there it is. Yaxula gonna make it touch the ground, and that was definitely Wildcards have turned this game on its head for sure.
They really have. Dog with a Log, they're kind of getting a bit used to playing against them, but they're just not used to, I suppose, how Yaxula tends to play, I should say. But he is really showing some prowess. Winter stepping up huge as well in offense and defense, just being a general nuisance. And it's going to be interesting. 2-1 series score, 2 wildcards. Can they? Can they get 2 more in a row? I don't know. Not if Dog with Log have anything to say about it.
Yeah. Again, with the voice crack, it's been a long day.
The yawn, I should say.
Been a long day, and it seems that Yaxula and Winter are just in the driver's seat at the moment. They're really feeling themselves. They've really got that kind of wind in their sails, so to speak, and just trying to keep this dominant performance going as long as possible. Stop Jaffa and Yem from scoring points on them as long as they can, and really just trying to close this out quickly. You see Yaxula going for the boost steals there. 3 in a row, not letting Jaffa have anything for himself, and a little bit too much power coming off the ball on that backboard. Gonna go wide, but potential danger here in the midfield. Winter gonna play time a little bit, go for the 50, not quite working out in Yem's favor, getting a bump rather than a touch on the ball. Seems like Yaxula is potentially getting in his opponent's head. He seems a little bit unpredictable as to what he's going to do when he's on the ball, and that seems to be working in his favor that little bit much.
It is, because I suppose if you were very predictable and you were all constantly just going air dribble bump, air dribble bump, air dribble bump, for example, the opponent will start reading it after a while. So I suppose the fact that he nearly does something different every single time, it's definitely really going to help his team. And as we see there, though, a great pass from Yaxula to Jaffa, who ends up own goaling with the little thing there. And I'm going to let you take over before I eventually sneeze.
Yeah, you hate to have it happen to you. You love to see it happen to your opponent. An own goal. Jaffa just not quite getting the angle on the touch he wanted and sending that soaring towards the bottom of his basket. But Yem and Jaffa on the counter-attack. Ooh, Winter's going to get a demo. Take an attacker off the field for a moment of time. Potentially a defender, but nothing came of that attacking play from the side of Wildcards. Yaxula on the ball, very low boost, faking out his opponent, going to go for that corner boost. Potentially make something of it, but not quite. Yem on the ball. Woo! A lot of power behind that, and nothing comes of it just yet. Definitely seems like Dog with a Log are trying to get themselves into those better positions. They're able to get the clearances when they need them. But definitely need to be working on getting score points on the board for themselves. But Wildcard's defense not making it easy at all. Seems like an uphill battle for Dog with a Log in this series so far.
An uphill battle indeed. Half a game remaining, and Dog with a Log, I was about to say something negative, but we see a nice little shot come out from Yen, half in the deficit. And that is just lovely there. Oh, the angle. He's upside down. He comes out. He's literally perpendicular to the rim of the net, and he still manages to get it over. Still low. Wildcards 2-1 lead. But not if Dog with a Log have anything to say about it, and Yem coming clutch again off kickoff. Jaffa getting a good kickoff win there. Yem getting a strong 50 with Yaxula. And just like that, within a matter of 10 seconds, the game's even.
Yeah, they're back in it for sure. Yem off kickoff. Jaffa able to stop that from going in. Going to be bringing it up towards the midfield. Yem waiting in a position to intercept that, but attacking play has broken down for the side of Dog with a Log. Potential here for the counter-attack from Wildcards. Yaxula up in the air, going to be bringing it down towards the corner. Ooh, very close to going in, but yeah, I'm able to stop that. The danger's not gone. Backflip almost cost him, but Jaffa able to pick up the slack for his teammate there. Split-second decisions are everything in this game, and it's very close to being a lead for Wildcards once again. Winter trying to chip it up over the rim of the basket there, but nothing comes of it just yet. Yaxula flying in all sorts of directions, trying to get in his opponent's heads, try and confuse them to make those split-second decisions that would cost them to concede a goal.
Yes. Who knows? But let's see here. Yem try to cause some confusion in the backboard there, though Jaffa dives, can't get it. Judo just booms the ball downfield. Winter can't get a connection, tries to chase the defender instead. Jaffa going for the sidewall read, doesn't make a connection. Winter air dribbling it up high, tries to get the bump, he does, but it's a bumping him into the ball. And Jaffa trying to counter attack quickly downfield, gets one last touch. Shot is there potentially, but that's good defense by Winter. He is just showing up huge in defense all series. Uzula hits it off of the back, the backboard, can't find it just there. Yem, direct shot. Uzula gets the save, and it was in, but Winter. Huge touch by Winter. 30 seconds remaining. The flick is on. It's not in, it hits off the rim. We are seeing a lot of action off the rim there though. And Yem proving clutch again with his third for his hat-trick. And that is a great boom downfield by himself. Can't get it, and he finds the double touch. And that could probably be the most important goal of the series so far again.
Yeah, it definitely could be a decider in this game. Make sure that Dog with a Log are still in this series, although Winter looking very dangerous there. And there's the so quickly after the first goal that gave Dog with a Log a lead, and now it's dissipated so fast. Yem getting a touch on it, but Yaxula making sure, once again, getting in the way of the ball, making sure it goes into the bottom of the basket, scoring another goal. It's even Stevens, 10 seconds on the clock. The countdown is on, and full potential there from Yaxula, but it's gone wide. Winter's going to knock it in, but looking like potentially, unless somebody can score a goal here, it's going to be our first overtime of the tournament, and there it is. Golden goal. D. Lynch, how are we feeling now? Predictions seem to be wrong at the start of this series.
Predictions have been wrong. Wildcard, they've been dominating so far, but Dog with a Log, they've kind of grown into the series. I suppose they did have a breaks versus the constant playing of Wildcard, but Yuxula's looking for the counter attack. He gets an extra touch, but Jaffa is there. Yem got a counter attack of his own, but ends up only passing it to Winter. Low boost, hands it off to Jaffa. It's on target, but that's a great save by Yuxula. And now Winter, time and space, takes to the skies. He gets the 50, but can only force it down low and straight into the net. Side netting, I should say, of the basket. Of the goal, the basket. I don't know what to even call it at this stage, but Jaffa booms it off the ceiling there. Hits off the wrong target there. Yuxula can't find the net. Yeah, going for his own sidewall read. Gets one touch. Can't happen. A minute into this overtime, golden goal is possible. Yuxula going for that quick counter attack, and it hits the rim again. The rim has not been kind. It could be bouncing in. It's in. Winter, not Yuxula. Winter scores. Golden goal territory, and he has put his team a third game on the trot, and he has put not his team not just on series point, but tournament point give. Oh my god, that is some game we just had.
I'm honestly baffled at the turnaround, the just wildcards proving me wrong at every turn, at every possible moment. They've managed to bring themselves back into this series. You know, they were one game down going in with Dog with a Log having that advantage, but now they've managed to take tournament lead and potentially in with a chance of taking this title for themselves.
They have every chance of taking this title for themselves, but if you're Dog with a Log, you really need to get your act together. But Wildcards, they are proving exactly as their name says, they are being true wildcards right now, and if they take this game, that's what you would call a quote-unquote sweep in this final. Obviously, Dogwood technically do have a game under their belt from coming through that upper bracket, but based on what we've seen here, my question is, how were wildcards ever in the lower bracket to begin with, Gib?
Yeah, don't. They seem to potentially was a stroke of luck on the side of //dot that knocked them down to the lower bracket in the first place, or maybe it was a case of they hadn't quite grown, that wildcards hadn't quite grown into their team working aficionado that we've seen in this series and the last. So definitely a question that only they can answer after the fact. But 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, and still, never mind. It's 1-0 to Wildcards with the opening goal. Winter getting a nice pass from Yaxula there and just bringing it down into the basket, opening up this game. Potential here to take the series now. Dog with a log definitely going to be feeling the pressure.
Pressure indeed, but I'm going to bring it back to a point you mentioned earlier, the boost game. It feels like whenever I'm looking at Dog with a log, they don't have that much boost, especially on defense, and it always feels like Wildcard have that boost. So I think, compared to what you said earlier, that boost game is critically important in hoops, because mainly played predominantly in the air. You can't really go to the air too much if you don't have the boost game.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult. Imagine having a third man on each team, how much more chaotic it could be. But there's the equalizer for Dog with a log. Yem just reading that ball very well, getting the touch in before Yaxula, and very cleanly sending that to the back corner of that rim. Nicely done. It's even Stevens once again. 3 minutes left on the clock, and who is going to take this game? Who's going to take advantage in this game first? It's definitely all up for grabs here. Dog with a log seem to be coming back from this nice demo from Yem. Can he get the touch he needs? Oh, off Yaxula. Very close to hitting home run there. That's a different sport, but we're going to go with it.
A different sport. Indeed, but we're going to say right now, if you're that side of Wildcards, they've been absolutely phenomenal. And they're going to go up there, dribble up there. But Yem patiently waits, gets a critical save, Kib, and that has just been absolutely phenomenal. Uzula, he has just been different gravy right now. He has been LeBron James-esque, if you could say, Gib.
Yeah, he's definitely been the man of the series so far, just managing to get those points for himself. Jaffa gonna take the lead for Dog with a log. Potentially a comeback for Dog with a log now. On the cards. There definitely seemed a point where they were kind of down and out, but if they can hold on to this lead, if they can increase it even more, potentially take it to another game and keep themselves in this series, in this tournament. Yeah, I'm going to get a nice touch there. Make sure that Yaxula didn't get any further with the ball, but Winter going to pop it up. No boost for either of him or Yaxula. Potentially dangerous, and Yam again going to score another point, increase that lead, give them that little bit more wiggle room to work with against their opponents.
As it stands, Dog with a log, 2 goals to the good. They are trying to cut down the deficit of Wildcard's 3 tournament points to only 2. But Yem puts the ball crossfield. Jaffa isn't ready for it. Jaffa trying to get the pinch, but that's good defense by Winter. Ball finds Pata. Uzula only ends up popping it just towards the back wall. Yem trying to make something happen. That's good challenge by Winter. Uzula gets a little read there. Oh my, he gets bumped into it, but has no boost to work with then. Jaffa gets one little touch on. Winter smartly plays it over the last defender and pinches it up high. Uzula can't find the target, and the ball's put to the back wall. Yem trying to stay on it, gets the dunk there, and with 50 seconds remaining, it is looking almost certain that Dogwood Log will take this game, but never say never, Gib.
Yeah, it's looking like Dogwood Log have finally found their stride and managed to bring this back, claw their way back. But very close attempt from, was that Yem or sorry, Winter or Yaxula there? Not quite sure. Cutting the ball in the midfield back towards his own backboard. Potential here. Yem is in a dangerous position, but Yaxula gonna get the touch, bring it back towards the midfield. Opponents in the way for the time being. 10 seconds, the countdown is on. Jaffa looking dangerous off the rim. Yem not quite reading the ball, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna take this game for themselves. They're back in the series. They've clawed their way back to this point.
You could almost say that was a bit of a steal of a game. They played really well, but all the pressure was coming from wildcards with all the shots. But for stream purposes, it will never end. We want to see this series keep going, but for the sanity of us and the tiredness, a quick game from wildcards would be appreciated. But we want to see that elusive Game 7. Most series here have been fairly competitive between all these teams, except when the top teams play maybe one of the lower seeds. But we're going to see here, Jaffa, can he step up? Can he prove critical for his team? Or maybe it might be Yem, but that's a good challenge. And the demo comes out there from Winter, but Yaxula just doesn't have boost. He isn't ready. He's going to try and get a read there. The ball is floating up, but Winter gets bumped. And I feel like this game is really going to be decided not by which team outplays the other more, but which team can get more of those bumps, more of those demos, and really control that boost game, Gabe.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a case of which side is the more chaotic against their opponent. That's going to be the deciding factor in this for sure. It's not necessarily a case of the skill or the teamwork. It's going to be a case of who can get in their opponent's head the most, who can create those scenarios where a defender is off position or on the respawn. Beautiful save from Yaxula there. Back towards Dogwood Log side, but Yem able to clear the danger. Not too much hassle. Back towards Wildcard side. Jaffa trying to make something of it with a double touch, but not quite getting the angles he needed. It's looking dangerous, but back to Jaffa with 100 boost. Boost is gone. Back to 100 again, stealing that out of Wildcard's corner. Yaxula on the ball. Nice little air dribble play, but not quite getting it far enough up the court that he needed. Winter able to intercept there on Jaffa's touch, and Yaxula off that touch in the midfield. Winter potential here, getting it over Yem, but getting bumped in the process.
We're seeing here, Gabe. 2 minutes gone, no goal scored. It's a lot more tight, a lot more closely contested affair between these two teams than we've previously seen in the series, and both teams really don't want to let that goal in because they don't want to be chasing the series though. And the net's wide open. Yaxula finds the long shot, shoot that 3-pointer, but Jaffa I think gets confused with a little touch there and is caught out in no man's land, and that is an ever crucial goal for Wildcards, Gib.
Yeah, the opening goal, it looked like Yem was in his opponent's corner gathering boost, and Jaffa didn't quite get the read on that ball, but it's a case of how long can Wildcards hold on to this lead, if at all. Potentially could close the series out, could close out the tournament for themselves, but Jaffa and Yem not going to be making that an easy affair to do. Yaxula going to get the touch, but it's back to Yem in the midfield. Getting a nice 50 from Yaxula. Winter not quite getting the touch. He's on no boost. He's going for it off the rim. There's nobody there to stop it.
And yeah, he does it. Jaffa gets it past Winter. He's faked with a little boost. It hits. Oh, Yugzula. No. He gets bamboozled by the rim, and the rebound is just there for him. Easy as you like. And Dog with a Log, they are not going to go down without a fight. They are really taking this to wildcards.
Yeah, they're making Wildcard's life difficult. There it is, the second goal for Dog with a Log. Jaffa with a beautiful finish, reading that ball from Yem and just very cleanly done and securing a lead for the time being. Wildcard's not going to take that sitting down for sure, but a minute and 58 seconds left on the clock. Dog with a Log definitely going to be making Wildcard's life a living hell trying to score goals. Very close though, managing to bounce that out over the rim. Yaxula passing it to his opponents. Winter able to read that ball very well towards the midfield, but off the rim from that attempt from Jaffa, and Yem is going to secure another goal for his team.
Absolutely phenomenal. They are proving clutch when it matters most. They really want to force this. They really want to force this game 7. They want it to. They want to still win. They have that dog in them as their team name suggests. Give a Dog with a Log. The real question here for them is, who is the dog and who is the log?
I was trying to think of a dog and a stick pun, but you beat me to it. Looking like Dog with a Log in the driver's seat for the time being. Almost just a minute on the clock. Yaxula has the ball. What is he going to be able to do with it? Not much, because Yam is there to chip it over the rim. But Winter in a dangerous position. Yam again in that position to knock it clear of his basket. Back towards the midfield. Yaxula getting a touch, but back towards Yam. Winter there off the rim and going to bounce back towards the midfield. There's nobody really in a position to defend just at the moment, but Yaxula managing to grab boost and clear the ball for the time being. Danger is on now, very close to going in, but not quite, just a little bit wide. Jaffa on the counter-attack, off the rim, not going where he wanted it to. He was looking like he was going to finish that off, but not quite getting the angle from the ball that he needed. It seems a case of Dog with a Log just need to play time now. 12 seconds left on the clock. The countdown is on. Who looking like it's going to be a case of Dog with a Log are forcing this towards a game 7.
And they have done it. Yeah, they have forced their way into a game 7. That elusive game 7, the championship match, the tournament match. This next game is winner takes it all. As Abba once said, the winner takes it all. And oh my, Dog with a Log, they have shown some great resilience to fight back here. And I don't think we'll keep the players waiting. I think as soon as they're ready, okay, we're going to get into this last final exciting match. It looked almost certainly done with the 3 games on the bounce from Wildcard. But Dog with a Log, they are looking to go 3 on the bounce for themselves. But Wildcard, if they have anything to do with it, they're not going to go down without one hell of a fight, Gib.
Yeah, it's looking like Dog with a Log, the top dogs of the upper bracket, and Wildcards the underdog, without a better way to phrase it, of the lower bracket, getting knocked down there by //dot and managing to claw their way back up to the grand finals. It is anyone's game. We've seen 2 brilliant performances in this series, but who is going to close the curtains for their opponent? Yem on the attack. Yaxula able to get in the way. Danger isn't cleared just for the time being. Jaffa going to pop it up, but Winter there to read that ball back towards the midfield. Yem with a chance, but Yaxula able to knock that just clear of the rim towards Dog with a Log side of the court, but Yam gonna get a demo. Doesn't really quite work out for them. That was a very close goal scoring opportunity. There it is. Yam is gonna open up the score line for Dog with a Log in this game 7.
It is in. There's just a big boom and clear. Winter cannot read it. He's been ever so reliable on defense today from what every game we've seen, but he just couldn't get it there. And Dog with a Log storm into an early lead. Hopefully they can double that lead, but 1 goal in theory is all you really need, Gib. But the firepower that Winter and Uxula possess, they're not going to let that happen. They're going to try everything in their power to really tie up the series. That's a great pitch. Oh, it is. Yeah, what a brilliant save. It's off the post. Oh my, that looked almost certainly a goal, but Yem is turning up so clutch right now in this grand final.
Yeah, turning up the heat for sure. It's looking like both of these teams going for goals. Uxula managing to just knock that clear of the rim. Winter getting the touch off the backboard, but not quite in a position he wants it to be. There's almost an open net, but Winter managing to get that rotation play just in the nick of time and knocking it back towards the midfield. Uxula there, but Jaffa with a beautiful 50. It's all heating up right now. What can Winter make of the situation? Not much. Back towards wildcard slide of the court. Trying to get a pinch off the backboard there from Uxula, but couldn't quite get the clearance he needed. Yem on the ball in danger zone, but Winter, 0 boost, managed to just sneak that off him on that backboard.
Up here, double commit. Winter and Uxula double commit though, but Winter stays behind it, gets the good 50. He manages to nab the boost there, but Yem trying to counter attack quickly. The bump comes true and Winter is there to save out Uxula. Shooting directly on target. That's a great save by Yem. 2.5 minutes. That is all that separates both these teams right now from this tournament point. This tournament win, I should say. But Dog with a Log, they were under so much pressure in this early series. They have just been absolutely phenomenal these last few games. They're really resilient to fight back here. Yem trying to get that 50. Jaffa on quickly. Could it drop in? It doesn't. Yem turns and goes. Tries to force in the field, but boost grab comes through. Winter Uxula 2v1 opportunity. They have the time and space. He tries to get the air dribble bump, but can't find the net. And just over a minute and a half, Gabe. This is still anyone's game to take.
Yeah, it feels to me like if Dog with a Log can score another point for themselves, they might just clinch the victory in this series. They were definitely in the gutter at the start of it, but now have managed to claw their way back. But Winter in with a touch on the ball. Uxula able to intercept that, but a beautiful 50 from Jaffa. Winter on the ball now, passing it back to his teammate, but intercepted by Yem in the midfield. Uxula going to be bringing it up. There it is, the shot that he was looking for, but Yem able to cut out the danger just in time. Stealing the boost. Winter on very little. Jaffa in a position. It's an open net. He can't miss. There it is. The goal that they were searching for. 2-0 to Dog with a Log. 1 minute left on the clock. It's not necessarily game over for wildcards just yet, but Dog with a Log are going to be doing everything in their power to make it as difficult as possible for their opponents.
That goal was all came from Jaffa. The bump on Uxula, the last man. Ball just gets tapped forward to him, and there was a beautiful little thing there. And this goal by Yem, 3 goals, 45 seconds remaining. I don't want to say it's over, but I'm calling it. That has to be it for Dog with a Log. Oh my, I cannot believe they've actually come back all the way. That is phenomenal, Gabe.
Yeah, it seems all but certain now. The final nail in the coffin. Dog with a Log trying to take home this series, trying to take home this tournament title. they're going to be holding on for dear life for the next 30 seconds, and then they can rest easy knowing that they've clinched this win. They've had the comeback against such a strong opponent. Beautiful save from Jaffa. Just the attacker is making it easy for him, really. Had all the space and time in the world. Counterattack is on. 10 seconds. It's all but done. D-Lynch, you were right. There was no coming back from this. It's going to be a tournament win for Dog with a Log.
I cannot believe they've actually done it. They were 3-1 down, and that one game was only from the fact of them coming through the upper bracket. I would hate to see what would have happened if they managed, if there wasn't that one game advantage. I would have loved to potentially see this reverse sweep, but effectively it was absolutely phenomenal. Big congratulations to Dog with a Log. And oh my god, we had an absolutely unbelievable series there.
That was truly spectacular. Thank you all for joining us for this RL Ireland 2v2 hoops, and congratulations to our winners, Dog with a Log, for managing to secure the victory in this tournament.
We're going to do another little big thank you as well to our lovely production behind the screens, Rory. You know, none of it possible without him right now. Obviously, thank you again for stepping in for this stream tonight while we had no one else available tonight, just on the chance. You did a bit of solo casting earlier, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, one last big congratulations to Dog with a Log. But unless you have any, do you have any final remarks before we end it there, Gib?
I would like to say a huge thank you to D-Lynch, a wonderful co-caster and our tournament admin this evening. And of course, we will see you very soon for the next RLI tournament.